beautiful Samira Balomea, Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, and our incoming member for our host constituency, Lydia Seriam, who we hope, by the grace of God, for IELTS West Wogan, you would be the next member of Parliament. The Vice Chancellor, the members of faculty and other academic staff, CEOs and deputy CEOs, students, invited guests, Nime, Name, members of the press, good evening. 11 days from today, on December 7th, you and I and all Ghanaians will be voting to select a president as well as members of parliament to preside over the affairs of this, our beloved country, over the next 4 years. The year 2020 has undoubtedly been challenging, both for citizens and leaders in Ghana and across the world. But with the challenges have also come opportunities. Opportunities to forge new alliances, to access new markets, and to grow domestic markets. We are on the cusp of a new world, and Ghana intends to fight for its place in this new world. The leadership we elect on December 7th is therefore not just about what they can guide us to achieve over the next 4 years, but a leadership with the vision and foresight that can see around corners and on whom we can rely to build our economic and human capital strength for decades to come. This evening, I would like to paint for you a broad picture of what we have done over the last 4 years and how each of them connects to a central theme. Everything we have successfully done over the last 4 years has been designed to make an impact on real people, on the lives and livelihoods of ordinary Ghanaians from all walks of life. Our stewardship over the last 4 years would mean nothing if we have not impacted on the lives and livelihoods of the broad mass of Ghanaians. As we review how far we have come and the progress we have made with the mandate you gave His Excellency, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the MPP government over the last 4 years, I am confident that you will come to one conclusion, if you have not done so yet, that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the safest pair of hands into which we can entrust our mandate. And together with an MPP majority in Parliament, the government will help build a strong and prosperous future together with you for all Ghanaians, our children, and the next generation. Ladies and gentlemen, I am aware you need no reminders of the dire economic conditions at the time we came into office. You lived and breathed it and bore the human cost of the economic mismanagement that was visited upon us by the NDC government. You remember the thousands of Ghanaian children denied secondary education and the millions of able-bodied Ghanaian youth who lived in hopelessness and despair due to their joblessness, and which, for the first time in our history, led to the formation of the Unemployed Graduates Association. You remember being told, and I quote, that I am not a magician to create jobs, end quote. You are living witnesses to the several thousand fellow citizens who lost jobs under the unrelenting burden of 4 years of doomsday, compounded by the onerous electricity tariffs and burdensome taxes as businesses collapsed. You remember that trainee nurses and teachers' allowances were cancelled. Millions of Ghanaians were unable to get cover under a collapsed national health insurance scheme as cash and carry reared its ugly head, again because of the inability of government to pay service providers. The National Ambulance Service was collapsing. You remember the 3-month pay policy for teachers, the problem of availability of textbooks and even chalk in schools, the freeze on recruitment into the public sector. This means that the government was unable to recruit people. This is why, for example, there was a backlog of trainee nurses and teachers who could not be employed after completion of their studies. You remember the Sada guinea fowls that flew to Burkina Faso. You remember and they have still not returned. You remember that the government had to go to the IMF to rescue the economy. That was indeed a rescue mission. It was clear that the NDC government had lost its way. It failed Ghanaians and did not have an idea of how to get us out of the ditch it had driven us into. What was painful, ladies and gentlemen, was that when we complained about our pain and suffering as Ghanaians, the response we received from the then government was blunt and uncaring. And I quote, "Get out of the kitchen if it is too hot," end quote. The then president reiterated in broadly dismissive terms that he is a dead goat who could not be moved by the complaints of suffering. And you, of course, remember Yenti Obia. The MPP, under the leadership of the then candidate and now president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, captured best the hardships Ghanaians were facing under the NDC government. He said, inter alia, and I quote, "As I travel the country over the years, I see pain and sacrifices made by Ghanaians every day. By the farmer who struggles to feed his family and send his children to school, but does not know whether, having made that sacrifice to pay the bills, his children will even be able to get a job at the end of their studies. By the mother of the sick child who has to walk miles on the dusty road to the clinic to get medicine, only to be turned away because the clinic will not accept her NHIS card and she has no money to pay. By the husband with a family of 4 who lost his job 2 years ago because his employers had to close down the business due to doomsday and the high cost of operations. It is for these people that I am running for president, for ordinary Ghanaians who have been betrayed by a government that does not care. It is to them that my government will be dedicated." End quote. Today, I am happy to confirm that in just 4 years, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has largely fulfilled this promise. He has demonstrated that he cares about each and every one of us, especially the poor, the vulnerable, and the disadvantaged. In 4 years, we have worked hard to significantly reduce the human cost of the economic mismanagement we inherited. We have stabilized the economy, created over 2 million jobs in the formal sector alone, kept the power on to power our homes, businesses, and industries, invested in massive infrastructure development at both local and national level, and implemented far-reaching social protection programs. And for this reason, Ghanaians can look forward to accelerated industrialization and infrastructure development over the next 4 years. But, ladies and gentlemen, this did not happen by accident. This transformation that has happened over the last 4 years did because we were clear in our minds what must be done, and we had a plan to do it, starting first with the restoration of the economy. Building a strong economy is what has enabled us, even when it turned out that the depth of the challenges we face was deeper than had been let on by the previous government. For example, the mess in financial services and the energy sector, to invest in social protection programs like the free SHS and the provision of over 300 ambulances to the country, to withstand the shock of cleaning up the mess in the financial services sector, while also being able to, when COVID struck, keep Ghanaians relatively safe and provide relief to many citizens, including the homeless, nurses, and other healthcare workers and small businesses. And without a strong economy that we built very quickly in the first 3 years, none of this would have been possible. So what is the big picture of what we set out to do? Broadly, we set out to create the foundations for an inclusive, prosperous Ghana beyond aid. That is what we set out to do. Ladies and gentlemen, our plan to roll back the human cost of economic mismanagement and to create the foundations for an inclusive, prosperous Ghana beyond aid was anchored broadly on these 7 objectives. First, to stabilize and grow the economy, to transform the economy, to create jobs, especially for the youth, to modernize, digitize, and formalize the economy, to make development inclusive and protect the vulnerable, to fight corruption, and to create a safe, secure environment for citizens and businesses to thrive. Now I shall briefly cover each of these objectives and trace how far along we have come in achieving them. Ladies and gentlemen, in 4 years, we have stabilized and grown the economy. Prior to the coronavirus pandemic, which has impacted all economies in the world, we reduced inflation, and inflation continues to fall. We doubled the rate of economic growth in the first 3 years. We reduced exchange rate depreciation. The exchange rate depreciation has been relatively stable, with Ghana recording the lowest rate of depreciation in the last 28 years in 2020. Notwithstanding COVID and its implication, and notwithstanding the fact that this is an election year, this year in 2020 is the lowest depreciation since 1992. And also, the average depreciation of the cedi over the last 4 years, which is at 7.3%, is the lowest for any first-term government since 1992. The lowest. We significantly reduced the deficit before COVID. Of course, in this year we've had to deal with COVID, and that has increased the deficit. We improved our external payments position, which is stronger today. Today, our external payments position is stronger, notwithstanding COVID, than it was in 2016. Interest rates are on the decline, and along with declining inflation expectations. We have cleaned up the mess in the financial sector that we inherited. We took decisive decisions to avoid the collapse of the financial sector, and we have saved the deposits of 4.6 million depositors and saved jobs which would have otherwise gone if the financial sector had collapsed. Thus far, government has spent 21 billion Ghana cedis to clean up the sector. And I am happy to note that the President assured all depositors that they will get their money. 100% of all bank depositors have received their monies. 99% of the microfinance institutions have received their money. 99% of savings and loans companies, depositors have been fully settled. And those that have not been settled have just some issues that they have to deal with the liquidator or the receiver. But by and large, we have kept to our promise, cleaned up the financial sector mess, and refunded the deposits of depositors. In addition to this, government on compassionate grounds has decided to pay up to 50,000 cedis to all customers of affected fund management companies while their liquidation processes continue. And based on the validated claims, this partial bailout will result in 89% of the affected individuals being fully settled. The relatively strong performance of the economy, amongst other things, led to Ghana becoming the destination of choice for foreign direct investment in West Africa, according to the 2019 World Investment Report by UNCTAD. As I noted earlier, the strong economy we have built has enabled us to provide the basic needs of our people, both as part of our broad, inclusive, transformational development strategy and also to withstand crises like COVID-19. Indeed, the shock of COVID notwithstanding, the economy has started to bounce back. Just 2 days ago, Bloomberg reported as follows, and I quote, "Ghana is one of the first countries in sub-Saharan Africa to lower interest rates to counter the virus shock, and its economy has performed better than forecast, even as the..." So monetary policy, the Bank of Ghana did the right thing. They reduced interest rates to counter the shock, and of course, the government also with fiscal policy did the right thing. And this is why it's not surprising that this economy is rebounding quicker than expected from the COVID-19 shock. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot overemphasize the importance of a strong economy. A strong economy creates opportunities and inspires more people to start new businesses. In much the same way, a strong economy encourages existing businesses to make new investments, to grow and expand more. Social services such as the National Health Insurance Scheme, free quality basic schools across every part of the country, the school feeding program, good roads, and a wider and cheaper transport network, affordable housing, stable and affordable electric power, all these require a strong economy. It is important, therefore, as we prepare to vote on December 7th, to remind ourselves that to protect the progress we have made, we must ensure that the management of the economy continues to remain in the hands of the person who is not only capable, but one who has been able to deliver on his promises. That person is His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also transforming the economy. We have stabilized the economy and made it grow, but we are also transforming the economy. Yes, it is a fundamental piece in the grand scheme. Stabilization of the economy is a fundamental piece in the grand scheme of things because it is the glue that holds everything together. But for long-term sustainability, our economy must be able to change its structure to lend itself to value addition, and it must be adaptable to the changing needs of citizens and the world marketplace. And critically, the economy must help to create jobs for our youth. Which is why, beyond macroeconomic stability, at the heart of our plan, we included carefully thought-through initiatives to transform the nature of the economy, to improve agricultural productivity and reduce our dependence on food imports, to add value to our raw materials through industrialization, and to reduce the cost of energy and running businesses and industries in Ghana. These we have achieved through several highly successful flagship programs. Through the Planting for Food and Jobs, Planting for Export and Rural Development, Rearing for Food and Jobs, we have improved agricultural productivity and reduced our dependence on food imports. Planting for Food and Jobs has led to a 71% increase in the national production of maize and 34% increase in paddy rice. Yields per hectare of maize, rice, and soybean have also increased significantly, and we now export 19 different food items, including maize, to the rest of the ECOWAS countries. The Global Food Security Index, which measures affordability, availability, and quality of food across 113 countries, placed Ghana in the 59th position in 2019. In 2016, we were 78. We're in the 78th position, and we have now gone up as the 58th out of the 113 countries for food. We have introduced major innovations in the cocoa sector with successful initiatives such as hand pollination, early spraying, and replanting of cocoa farms at the cost to government. Before the introduction of hand pollination, the majority of our cocoa farmers produce less than 20 pods per cocoa tree. With hand pollination, the medium count now is 50 pods, and we have recorded cases of 200 pods and above. The average yield, you've seen these pods, yeah. The average yield per acre of cocoa before hand pollination was 2.5 bags per acre. Today, farmers are recording up to 41 bags per acre. So you're moving from 2.5 to 41 and more. And this is a massive increase in productivity in the cocoa sector. Cocoa farmers' incomes have also been improved with the historic implementation of the living income differential in collaboration with Côte d'Ivoire. Under the living income differential, cocoa farmers get an additional $400 per ton or $25 per bag of cocoa, and this resulted in a 28% increase in the producer price of cocoa to 660 Ghana cedis per bag. Government has also introduced a pension scheme for cocoa farmers, and this is the first such pension scheme for cocoa farmers since independence. And we have also established a tree crop development authority with a focus on mango, cashew, rubber, oil palm, shea, and coconuts. It is expected that these crops will together earn Ghana $16 billion annually, compared to the $2.5 billion earnings from cocoa. This is a potential game changer. So what the Cocoa Board has done for cocoa, We expect the Tree Crop Development Authority to do the same in terms of marketing, in terms of research, and so on, for these major tree crops. And we expect cumulatively they earn us at least 7 times more than what cocoa is earning us today. And that will give Ghana a major foreign exchange income inflow coming in. Again, through our One District, One Factory and our strategic anchor initiatives, we are adding value to our raw materials through industrialization. In 4 years, 76 companies are in operation under One District, One Factory, including factories like the Ekumfi Fruit Processing Company in the Central Region, who are producing the now famous Eku Juice, and Golden Africa Consumer Products, Ghana Limited, Omnifed, Fertilizer, so many companies. 76 are operational. And we have a total of 107 factories that are currently under construction. We expect every district to have a factory within the next 2 years in Ghana. Every district. We also have VW, Volkswagen, Sinotruk, the Kantanka Group, and Nissan now coming in, all assembling vehicles in Ghana under our new forward-looking automotive sector development policy. And we expect Toyota to come to Ghana next year. Ghana is now in a position to become the automotive hub in West Africa. It will reduce the cost of imports of vehicles and save precious foreign exchange. We have also established the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation and the Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation, and both of which are progressing steadily in the development of these industries. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to this, we have tried to reduce the cost of business in this country. We have abolished or reduced over 15 taxes and levies to reduce the burden of taxes on businesses and individuals. And this is unprecedented in the history of economic management in Ghana. 15 taxes that have been abolished or reduced. It has never happened in Ghana. We have also reduced electricity tariffs for residential, business, and industrial consumers. And again, no government in the history of Ghana has reduced electricity tariffs in cumulative terms during its term in office. No government has done that except the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ladies and gentlemen, our economic transformation agenda is on course. In the next 4 years, we will build on the successes of our One District, One Factory and our strategic anchor industries policies to further enhance agro-processing, including cocoa processing, add value to our minerals and petrochemicals, promote labor-intensive and light manufacturing activities, and continue the development of the aluminium, iron and steel industries along their entire value chains, and leverage our regional hub status as host of the Secretariat of the AFCFTA, African Continental Free Trade Agreement, to expand our access to the regional and continental markets. These things, ladies and gentlemen, are not happening in a vacuum. And more importantly, they did not happen by accident. It came from our overarching strategy to transform the structure of the economy, to add value to our agricultural and natural resources, as well as careful planning and execution. We are also building the foundations for industrial development to ensure sustainable long-term economic growth, as well as create jobs. This is what leadership is about. have created jobs especially for the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, another major challenge we sought to address was the hopelessness and despair that a lack of employment opportunities under the previous administration had plunged our youth into. The human cost imposed on a long line of able-bodied, educated youth of this country by the economic mismanagement of the NDC government had grown to become a national security threat. Nothing is more dehumanizing and more frustrating for young people than being jobless. Again, we did not run away from the challenge. We took the bull by the horns, and in 4 years, we have created over 2 million jobs in the formal sector. Including programs such as NAPCO, where we hired 100,000 unemployed graduates, the National Entrepreneurial Innovation Program, the Planting for Food and Jobs, afforestation, and many others. We've also hired nurses, doctors, and other healthcare workers, recruited new teachers, police officers, and others in the public sector after so many years of employment freeze under the NDC government. As a result of our industrial transformation interventions, nearly 19,000 direct jobs have been created by the 76 operating 1D1F firms. And since helping it to restart operations, AngloGold Ashanti's Obuasi mine has employed over 4,000 people. We have revived companies like the Ghana Publishing Company, WAMCO, as well as Ghana Post. Through the NEIP and the President's Entrepreneurs Living with Disabilities programs, we are supporting medium and small businesses as another track for creating jobs and sustainable incomes. We are impacting on the lives and livelihoods of Ghanaians every day. It took bold leadership to face these challenges head-on and to deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also modernizing, digitizing, and formalizing the economy. One of the biggest issues confronting our economy, as with many other developing economies, is its highly informal nature, along with the manual, bureaucratic, and cumbersome processes involved in the delivery of government services. Over 90% of Ghanaians had no unique identity. There was no working address system. Over 70% of those eligible to have bank accounts had no bank accounts. Most transactions are cash-based. Less than 10% of the population have tax identification numbers, and clearing goods at the port, obtaining a driver's license, passport, renewing your NHIS card, purchasing electricity units for your meter, obtaining birth certificates, manual and cumbersome court processes, and so on, were not only inefficient and costly, they became breeding grounds for corruption as bribes were demanded to circumvent the cumbersome processes. This situation resulted in difficulty in solving crimes, resulted in higher interest rates at banks, delays in obtaining government services, lower government revenue, and so on. While this situation has long been recognized, no government has undertaken a systematic and concerted effort to address these problems. We just lived with the problem rather than solve it. The government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, however, made the strategic decision to address these chronic problems by digitizing the Ghanaian economy as well as the process of delivery of many government services. The overarching objective of this digitization drive is to formalize the economy, to increase government revenue, to eliminate corruption, and ultimately provide public services to citizens more efficiently and conveniently. To do this, we needed to put a number of pillars in place. We needed to issue national ID cards to all Ghanaians and residents in Ghana, implement a functional address system for the whole of Ghana, villages and towns, provide financial services for the unbanked, that is, get financial inclusion, implement mobile money interoperability, move the economy away from a cash-based towards a cash-light economy by implementing advanced electronic payment systems, and digitize the provision of government services to eliminate human intervention as much as possible. I am very happy to note that tremendous progress has been made on all these fronts in Ghana. Just within the last 4 years, it's phenomenal what has happened. And Ghana is clearly on its way to become one of the most digitized economies in Africa. Specifically, we have registered and issued ID cards, national ID cards, biometric national ID cards, which the NDC government could not do in 8 years. So far, 15.5 million people have been enrolled, and the process will be completed in the first half of 2021. This has provided Ghana with a database that will be the anchor for all transactions in the future, providing unique identity to all individuals. We have also implemented a digital address system covering every square inch of land or water in Ghana. In the process, we have identified and provided unique addresses for all properties in Ghana, about 7.5 million properties. The Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, working with the municipal and district assemblies, has also completed the provision of street names and house numbers for every unnamed street in Ghana. This has taken a lot of work to do, but it has been done. And government will affix the address plates for every property in Ghana within the next few months. And we expect the process to be completed by the middle of 2021. So you'll see from what it's going to look like. For every house, they will be brought your street name, your house number, and the digital address. So this is for every property, all 7.5 million properties in Ghana. We are going to affix that plate. And we have been in discussions with Google, and we expect that once we finish this work, the whole system for Ghana system will be uploaded in Google Maps, and we will use it also. Ladies and gentlemen, the groundbreaking mobile money interoperability has also been implemented. The mobile payments interoperability has made it easier to transfer money across different telcos and between bank accounts and mobile wallets. It has also solved the major problem of over 70% of people not having bank accounts. Today, because of mobile money interoperability, you can make payments from your mobile money account into any bank account, and you can receive payments from any bank account. You can also, with your mobile money account now, you can get interest on your savings. You can acquire a loan, for example, the quick loans, on your mobile wallet. For all intents and purposes, the mobile money account, because of what we've done, with mobile money interoperability has become as good as a bank account. Ghana is the only country in the world that has thus far implemented our version of mobile money interoperability. No other country has been able to do it. And we just thank the good Lord for giving us all the players cooperating in the way we've been able to do it. Many countries have tried and have not been successful, but we are the only country in terms of this version of interoperability that has done it. It is a remarkable feat, and we should all be proud of the Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Finance, and GIBS for what they have done. Ghana is currently, not surprisingly, because of what we have done, the fastest growing mobile money market in Africa. And it will interest you to know that Ghana has 36.9 million registered mobile money accounts for a population of 31 million. Of course, people have more than one mobile money account. Yeah, that is what is happening. However, ladies and gentlemen, the most remarkable aspect of the implementation of the mobile money interoperability was that the NDC was about to do it. When they were in office, they wanted to do mobile money interoperability, but they were about to do it for a mind-boggling $1.2 billion. But since Nana Akufo-Addo came into office and we took over the management of it, we have been able to do it for $4.5 million. Not 450 million or 45 million, 4.5 million, compared to 1.2 billion that we were about to pay for this. Ladies and gentlemen, to address the issue of the dominance of cash payments in our economy, we have recently rolled out a universal QR code payment system, which allows all merchants, whether you are wache, seller, or trotros, shoe shine. You are a shoe shine boy, you're riding a trotro, a shop owner, any service provider, all merchants. It allows you to receive payments instantly on your phone. And customers can just scan the QR code or dial a USSD code if you have a YAM phone, and you'll get instant payment. So you don't need to be carrying cash around you. And what is so remarkable, when we started this process, people were not sure we could do it. We've done it, and Ghana is the first country in the world to implement a universal QR code payment that accommodates both bank accounts and mobile wallets. We are the first to do it. Bank accounts and mobile wallets. No other country in the countries that have done universal QR codes, you have Singapore, India, and Ghana. Singapore and India, they've done it only for bank accounts. But we said we can't do it for bank accounts because it's only going to be for a few people. We want to do it for everybody who is unbanked. So we did it for mobile wallets and bank accounts. And we are the only country to do it. It is a remarkable achievement and will allow Ghana to move towards a cash-light society in just a few years. The future is really exciting. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. Today, the outcomes from our digitization drive are paying off. We have made it easy for people to renew their national health insurance membership on their phones without having to spend precious times in queues. People used to stay outside district national health insurance offices for days just to renew. Today, star 92 star 929 hash, boom, you get it there and it's all gone. It was really both an inconvenience and a challenge to get your electricity on again if your ECG prepaid units got used up in the middle of the night, when raining or when you were away from home and your precious foodstuff had to be preserved. But today, thanks to the ECG app, you can easily buy prepaid units conveniently from wherever you are from your mobile phone. Our online passport application processes are helping many people and making life easier and better for them. Come to think of it, how did we expect a poor young senior high school or university graduate seeking a scholarship to further his or her education to travel all the way from Tumu, KJB, Elubo, Afram Plains, or Kwame Danso to Accra to apply for a government scholarship? There was a huge exclusion barrier, and only those who had the means to access to Accra could access the government scholarships. Today, thanks to the online application process at the Scholarship Secretariat, everyone is able to apply for scholarships and receive the same from their homes. And the process has also been decentralized. Ladies and gentlemen, still on digitization, we have implemented the motor insurance database. The objective of the introduction of the motor insurance database is to curb the menace of vehicles with fake motor insurance stickers plying our roads, thus endangering lives and property. With the digitization of the motor insurance in Ghana, all insurance policies which now have key security features have been synchronized to a national database which can be accessed simply with a mobile phone by the insured, by the police, and by the general public. So, members of the public can also self-check the authenticity of their insurance policy by dialing a USSD code, star 920 star 57 hash. Once you dial star 920 star 57 hash, and follow the instructions, you will know whether that vehicle is insured or not before you board the vehicle. Therefore, our police and general public can easily check from their phones and devices on the road which vehicles have insurance or not, as I have said. So please, now the facility is available for the police to know whether you are insured or not. So please go and get insurance. They can easily tell. We have equally improved the services at the DVLA, and today our citizens have much more convenient and easy way to acquire driver's license and register their vehicles. We are also moving a step further, of course, to link the vehicle registration to the motor insurance database. Ladies and gentlemen, we've started the automation of our hospitals, and we have seen efficient and improved service deliveries at hospitals that we have implemented digitization. We want to make sure that we go paperless in the health sector so that you don't have to move from one hospital to the other carrying files for one department of a hospital to another. All of this is to go digital. For example, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital is 100% paperless. Ho and Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospitals are 50% paperless. Kolebu is 86% paperless. And Tamale is about to start. So we are making progress. And the idea is to extend this across the country. We are also providing free Wi-Fi to 722 senior high schools. 722 senior high schools, 46 colleges of education, 260 district education offices, and we have launched 13 public universities, including Legon, will get free Wi-Fi, and all public technical universities, nursing and midwifery training schools will also be provided with free Wi-Fi next year under our policy. We are doing this to make sure that access to knowledge on our campuses, whether it's at senior high school, the technical universities, the other universities, that the students can have a broad access to knowledge, and it will help the education system. We have also developed a one-stop shop for government services. We call it Ghana.gov, and the process of onboarding government institutions is going on. On this Ghana.gov website, and you can check it out, you can apply for and obtain various government services. So whether you are looking for passports, tax issues, birth certificates, driver's licenses, and so on, we want you to just go to one place, and you can make an application, you can pay for the service, and then you can receive the service without visiting the office. So Ghana.gov is where we are going. And one of the interesting, we piloted this at the Ministry of Tourism in 2019. And it is very interesting to note that government revenue, because we made it electronic and everybody had to pay for services through the electronic means, revenue at the Ministry of Tourism and Culture improved fourfold, just because you were dealing with the electronic payment system. A fourfold increase in revenue. I wonder where it used to go to before. Ladies and gentlemen, next year, by the grace of God, we will integrate the national ID card with passports, with a SNIT card, with a tax identification, with DVLA, with bank accounts, SIM cards, and so on. Currently, Ghana has less than 3 million people registered for tax identification number. Next year, your national ID number will be your tax identification number, and that will be it. So when we do that, we will increase the people covered for tax in the tax next from less than 3 million to 15 million in just one foul swoop. And that is coming, that work is already taking place. We expect them to complete it before the end of this year so that we will launch it next year. Your social security number will also be your national ID number and so on. We are doing the integration across. We've already done for the National Health Insurance Card. I launched that a week or so ago when we did it. So your NIA number and your national health insurance number will become your NIA number. So there's so much that is going on, and it's just so exciting. We will also link the Ghana card with the births and deaths registry so that the national ID number will be issued to every child from birth, right from birth. Right from birth. Yeah, right from birth. The birth and death registry is 80% digitized now. We should complete the rest of the 20% within the first quarter of next year. And we will link it so that everybody will get a national ID number. The integration of the databases will bring a lot of discipline and efficiency into our economy and society, and it will also drive down interest rates of banks and help law enforcement in tracking down criminals. It's really exciting when you think about it. We are going to have a new Ghana. We are going to have a digitized Ghana. Again, none of these things happened by accident. We planned it. We executed it. It took the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That is how come it happened. Ladies and gentlemen, We are also making development inclusive. For decades, many of our fellow citizens have been excluded from benefiting from the proverbial national cake, from access to education, health, and infrastructure. Millions have been treated as second-class citizens, even though we have the same right to stake a claim in the benefits that economic development brings. Around the country, there are millions who face poverty and deprivation daily and who need urgent, deliberate, and forceful intervention from the state to improve their lives and their circumstances. We were determined that access to development should not be a matter of one's geographical location or social status. As a result, our overarching development strategy included pursuing policies that will be targeted at particular segments of our population who continue to be excluded and who miss out on the myriad of opportunities that abound, not only in the country, but also in today's globalized world. We promise to build a Ghana that works and gives each and every one of us the opportunity to improve our lives. A Ghana that works for us and our families, not just for the rich and powerful. A country where if you show up, step up, and work hard, you will have your fair share of its wealth and to be fairly rewarded for your hard work. A country in which hard work pays and cutting corners does not. A country in which no matter where you come from, you will be rewarded based on merit and not on who you know basis. The implementation of these policies found expression in the following, so far very successful programs. Today, there is hope for thousands of BEC and WACC candidates who could not register for their exams because of high cost of registration fees. Thankfully, President Akufo-Addo's government has paid the registration fees for them, and they are free. There is hope for thousands of young people who could not live up to their dreams of becoming trained teachers or nurses. Thankfully, President Akufo-Addo's government has restored teacher and nursing training allowances. In the health sector, the National Health Insurance Scheme has been rescued from its cash and carry status as government has paid the arrears owed to service providers. The National Ambulance Service has also been rescued with 307 ambulances under the One Constituency, One Ambulance program. Over 92,000 health personnel have been recruited for our hospitals in the last 4 years. And we have also introduced drones in the delivery of critical medicine and blood to people in remote areas. The drones are saving lives every day. Recently, there were floods in the northern part of Ghana, floods, and nobody could reach hospitals and clinics. But the drones were able to drop critical medicine across. And we are so proud. Ghana is now the largest medical drone delivery service in the world. The largest. Our country, Ghana. And it will interest you to know that a few weeks ago, the U.S. government contracted the providers of this service, Zipline, to do medical delivery services in the U.S. for the U.S. government. Just a few weeks ago. So we are taking leadership. We should not think that because we are a developing country, we cannot lead the world in certain things. We are leading the world, especially in these technologies. There is hope for thousands of young children who could either drop out of school as a result of hunger or go to school malnourished. Thankfully, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has expanded the school feeding program by 78% since we came into office. We have offered jobs to 100,000 NAPCO graduates who would otherwise have been unemployed. There's hope also for thousands of businesses who could fold up and collapse as a result of high electricity tariffs, and we have reduced electricity prices to help them. There's hope for thousands of farmers who could not access fertilizers and seeds to improve their farming, and Planting for Food and Jobs have come to the rescue. There's hope for thousands of medical professionals who could not go for postgraduate studies because of high fees. Thankfully, President Akufo-Addo has abolished the fees for postgraduate medical training. We have also abolished the market tolls for the poor Kayaye. President Akufo-Addo has also established the Zongo Development Fund and the Ministry for Inner City and Zongo Development. And these two institutions are addressing the needs of Zongo and inner city communities. This is the first time in our history that we have specifically targeted the Zongo communities for development. President Akufo-Addo has also created 6 new regions to help promote decentralized and inclusive development. There is hope for thousands of JHS graduates who could not access senior high school, because President Akufo-Addo has implemented both free senior high school education and free TVET for our kids. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember as you go into this election that the NDC opposed and bastardized the free senior high school policy proposed by the President Nana Akufo-Addo. They said it was a hoax. They said it was a 419 promise. They said if they had 2 billion Ghana cedis, they would not spend it on free SHS. They said free SHS will collapse the education system. They went on demonstrations against free SHS. They even went to the Supreme Court to stop the implementation of free SHS. They ran over 40 adverts against free SHS. But the steady and visionary Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo he stuck to his guns because he knew what was good for this country. And he has successfully implemented free senior high school policy. But what do we hear today? Today, the NDC and their flag bearer is looking us straight in the eye and saying that they started free SHS. They say they started free SHS. Ewurade Nyankopɔn. Are they confused? Or do they think we have short memories? Thankfully, their predictions of doom for free SHS have not materialized. The recent results of the first batch of free SHS graduates has shown that quality has not been compromised. Indeed, the 2020 results of the WACSI candidates is the only year, this 2020, in the past 6 years, that more than 50% of candidates who sat the examinations obtained between A1 and C6. This is the only year. in all core subjects. In fact, the performance of the students in mathematics and English language were the highest, recording 65.71% and 57.34% respectively. They've done well. Social studies and integrated science recorded 64.31% and 52.53% respectively. And the checks further in the data also indicates that about 60% of the 342,500 candidates who wrote the WACC, representing over 200,000, scored between A1 and C6 in their best 6 subjects, including mathematics and English. And this qualifies them for tertiary education. So the Akufo-Addo graduates have done very well. They've done very, very well. Indeed, all our flagship programs, be it Free SHS, One District, One Factory, One Village, One Dam, Planting for Food and Jobs and others, have been rooted in the effort to liberate the energies of the people to grow the economy of which all the people can be part. So far, we have invested about $3.2 billion to implement Free SHS, and 1.2 million teenagers in secondary school now are looking forward to better opportunities. For their parents and families, this has translated into savings of about 2.2 billion Ghana cedis, and that is money the state has put back in their pockets. In line with government's agenda to ensure inclusive and accelerated economic development, our approach to infrastructure development has been twofold. First, to provide for broader infrastructure needs of the economy at the macro level, the big ones that help drive growth, and these are like the interchanges and so on. And secondly, to provide for the infrastructure needs of the poor and the deprived communities at the micro level, like water, toilets, clinics, and markets, and so on, which many governments have historically ignored. This is something that it seems many have missed, that we must, as a nation, urgently address the infrastructure needs of the historically ignored communities across Ghana, even while addressing critical national level needs. The NDC has made it its business to deride and even mock our determined efforts to right this wrong. These are the so-called socialists. It is no wonder they cannot point to just one sustained social intervention policy they have implemented. So theirs is socialism without social interventions. That is what they have. It is our belief, which informed our strategy, that infrastructure for all must include all the amenities that people need in order to unleash the potentials for growth in their communities, constituencies, and districts, and ultimately to improve conditions of everyday living. It must also include facilities and systems to support industrial and other economic activities. To ensure equitable and inclusive growth, the provision of infrastructure, amenities, or facilities should not be dictated narrowly by our politics. It should not be for a government or politicians to decide on the sharing of infrastructure amenities on the basis of tribal, ideological, and political preferences. Every community, district, and region deserves expanded opportunities for growth and improvements in their standard of living. The massive investment in water and sanitation facilities in many rural and deprived communities by our government has resulted in 5,400 communities being declared open defecation free. And this massive investment in water and sanitation over the last 4 years has also resulted in not a single case of cholera in the last 4 years in Ghana. Not a single case. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now present a summary of what we have achieved in the pursuit of this two-pronged approach to infrastructure development, both at the local, community, and a basic level. And we are at the basic level, we are doing this through the development authorities under the 1 Million One Constituency initiative. The latest data shows that we have undertaken as a government over the last 4 years a total of 19,145 projects across every sector. We have completed 10,408 of these projects, and 8,737 are ongoing. And these are across every district in Ghana. I cannot mention 19,000 projects, but I would mention a few. If you look at road infrastructure, we have undertaken about 1,304 road projects. We have completed 905 of those. These include 1,100 kilometers of asphaltic overlay, the Tema interchange, the Tamale interchange, Pokwasi interchange, PTC interchange, Bechebi Lamte interchange. In fact, we are the only government that is taking 6 interchanges in the first 10 of its office. 6 together. In the first 10. No other government has been able to do that. We have roads that we are constructing in this year of roads, every district in this country. So whether you go to Hohoi Jasikan, Dodo Pepesu, Kumasi Inner City, Cape Coast Inner City, Pristia Inner City, Atebubu Kwame Danso, Benchman Kwanta, Ejefua Roads, Bolga Boko, Polmankon, Laura, Hamile, so many roads we are constructing and making progress. I always remind the NDC, for those from the northern region, that after 8 years in office, they couldn't complete one road in Upper East. They couldn't complete one road in Upper West, and only completed one road in northern region. 8 years. And this is why there were all these demonstrations about roads when we came into office. And we are addressing this. In fact, I don't think any government in its first term has done as much in the road sector as the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. If you look at agriculture, we are building 439 small earth dams under the One Village, One Dam currently. 375 are complete. We are also doing the Pualugu multi-purpose dam, which is the largest investment in northern Ghana since independence. It's almost $1 billion, the Pualugu multi-purpose dam for irrigation. It will increase the acreage under irrigation. Currently, Ghana has 12,980 hectares under irrigation. Pualugu Dam alone is going to bring an additional 12,000 hectares under irrigation. So it will double virtually what we have. We have built 80,000 metric ton warehouses under one district, one warehouse, 100 greenhouses also. So the agricultural infrastructure is going on. In the health sector, we are providing. We've done 844 projects. We've completed 478 with 366 ongoing. These include 439 CHIPS compounds, 69 clinics, district hospitals in Tolom, Bupe, Wita, Sola. We're doing a 600-bed hospital in Koforidua, a 500-bed military hospital in Afari in the Ashanti region. We've done the first infectious disease center in collaboration with the private sector in Kwabenya. We have 4 zipline drone centers in Omenako, Walewale, Mampong, and Sefiwi also. We have brought in 307 ambulances. So we're providing a lot of infrastructure in the health sector. When you go to industrialization, we have 190 projects ongoing, 76 completed. 76 1D, 1F companies in operation, as I said earlier, 107 under construction, 67 business resource centers in 67 districts. In sports, we've got 84 projects, 20 have been completed and 64 ongoing. We are constructing 10 5,000-seater youth and sports centers of excellence in 10 regions of the country. Kaneshi in Accra, Ho in the Volta region, Koforidua in Eastern region, Axim in the Western region, Yenahe in Ashanti, Dunkwa Onofing in Central, Doma in Bono, Navrungo in Upper East, Yendi in Northern, and Wa in Upper West. These are fantastic facilities for sport. We have also constructed 29 AstroTurf football pitches in several communities across the country. In fact, what is interesting for you to note is that before the MPP government came into office, the whole of Ghana had only 2 AstroTurf pitches. Only 2. But today, the AstroTurf, the demand, we've done 29 so far, but clearly it's going to be 1 district, 1 AstroTurf very soon. That is where we are headed. We are also doing a lot in the area of sea defense, and the following projects that we inherited, the following projects were commenced after 2017, and we are ongoing: sea defense in Axim, Amanfo, Kuma, Komenda, Cape Coast, Elmina, and Anomabu. And the following were sea defense projects that were ongoing when we came into office, but we have completed them: Abuazi, Ajua, Blekusu, New Takoradi. Ports and fish landing sites. The Takoradi Port expansion project is progressing. The multi-purpose container terminal at Takoradi, which commenced in 2019, is also progressing. The dry bulk jetty at Takoradi is completed. Construction of Jamestown Harbour has started. We've cut the sword for Buankra Port, and construction is going on 10 fish landing sites at Axim, Dix Cove, Senya Broku, Gomoafete, Mori, Mamfo, Teshi, Winneba, Elmina, and Keta. So these are major projects that are taking place. Construction of the Kumasi Airport Phase 2 and 3 is 90% complete. Sunyani Airport is over 50%. The railway sector is also seeing major revamp in railways, which has totally abandoned. And so you look at the completion of the Accra-Tema rehabilitation, Achimota in Sawam, 33 kilometers, Kojokrom, Takwa, 56 kilometers, the narrow gauge, and the construction of a new standard gauge on the western line from Takoradi to Kumasi has commenced. Kojokrom to Manso, 22 kilometers, is ongoing. We have completed a railway training school, and the Tema Mpakadan line, which is 97 kilometers, is also going. So we have revived the railway industry in Ghana, and it's going to help our industrialization process as well as moving people and cargo across the country. Of course, when we think about next year, we are thinking about the eastern line from Accra through Kumasi. We are thinking about the Accra to Ouagadougou line through the north. These are major things that we are doing. The education sector has also seen a lot of infrastructure investment. We have undertaken 3,239 infrastructure projects in the education sector. And of these, 1,587 have been completed, including 448 senior high school projects with 1,652 ongoing. We have also completed 27 E-blocks. The flag bearer of the opposition keeps saying we abandoned his E-blocks, which he was only able to do a few anyway. But we've done 27 of them. We've done 1,011 senior secondary school projects, classroom, dormitories, libraries, and so on. And we're building 9 model senior high schools. So many infrastructure projects in tertiary institutions. These are major things that we have done. We can't list everything, but I would like to remind Ghanaians that they can explore the extent of our investment in infrastructure by visiting the www.deliverytracker.gov.gh. Delivery Tracker. If you go here, you can find all the projects, the 19,145. The Delivery Tracker platform provides for transparency and accountability for government infrastructure projects. It is the first such tracker in Ghana and also the first such digital infrastructure tracker by any African country. We are the first to do something like this. Nobody has done this. When you look at the complete body of work that we have put together in our first term of office, you will see that clearly no government has achieved as much in its first term of office in terms of infrastructure than the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It's a phenomenal record in infrastructure and has been achieved only in the first 4 years. And inshallah, the next 4 years will be even more remarkable. Will be even more remarkable. It will be more remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes leadership to think through the development challenges of our people, especially the disadvantaged, and to provide solutions like we have. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also fighting corruption. A lot has been said, especially over the last few weeks, over the commitment of the Nana Akufo-Addo government to fighting corruption. While it has not been an easy task, I can confidently state that this government has been one of the best in years to have demonstrated an uncommon boldness and commitment to fighting corruption. And why do I say so? Over the last 4 years, we have strengthened the regulatory and legal framework to fight corruption by implementing several digitization initiatives as well as passing into law several pieces of anti-corruption related legislation, including the Witness Protection Act of 2018, the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act of 2018, and the Right to Information Act of 2019 to unearth public sector corruption. Digitization has also significantly reduced corruption in places such as the ports, DVLA, Passport Office, NHIS, hospitals, and so on. We have applied open competitive bidding and conducted Ghana's first open bidding round for oil blocks and established a national register of contracts of petroleum agreements as provided for by the Petroleum Act of 2016, which the NDC refused to do. This enables anyone to trace who the beneficial owners of interest in oil blocks are. We have improved the financing of governance and anti-corruption MDAs like the Ministry of Justice and the Office of the Attorney General, Office of the Special Prosecutor, NCCE, SHRAJ, EOCO. For example, the budgetary allocation to the Office of the Auditor General has been significantly increased to enable it perform its duties. Compared to 2016, the 2019 budget for the office has increased by 177%. In addition, more than 40 high-profile persons have been charged for various acts arising out of actions and activities superintended by the NDC administration, involving in monetary terms a total of US dollar amount $265.5 million and 2.25 billion Ghana cedis. To date, 6 people have been found guilty. Over the next 4 years, we will, of course, improve the financing of governance and anti-corruption MDAs, as we have done over the last few years, to enable them recruit, continue to train, and retain dedicated staff to support in the fight against corruption and provide resources for the effective functioning of the Right to Information Commission. We are not there yet, but we have demonstrated leadership in fighting corruption, and we will continue to do so with your help. Ladies and gentlemen, we are creating a more secure environment for our citizens and businesses to thrive. Over the last 4 years, we have invested significantly towards enhancing public safety and security by providing equipment and logistics to the security services, including over 1,300 vehicles, recruitment of over 4,000 police personnel, training of 15,000 community police officers, and equipping of the Drug Enforcement officials and the construction of housing units and accommodation for the security services. And we have also successfully implemented the Accra Initiative, so-called because of the origin of the idea involving the consistent collaboration and cooperation of security intelligence heads from Ghana and our neighboring countries, namely Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Togo, Mali, and Niger, to continue to be our concrete contribution to fight against terrorism in our region. The leadership we have shown in maintaining peace and safety of our citizens is also reflected in the peaceful resolution of the Gabon crisis with the help of the eminent chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, in sum, over the last 4 years, we have stabilized and prudently managed the economy. The result has been declining inflation, declining interest rates, and declining exchange rate depreciation. The average depreciation rate, as I said, in 2020 is the lowest in the last 28 years. And the resilience of the economy is demonstrated by the fact that the economic growth is quickly rebounding from the impact of COVID-19. To transform the economy, we have turned agriculture into a major growth driver through our programs for planting for food and jobs, rearing for food and jobs, planting for export and rural development. Cocoa initiatives such as the hand pollination and the living income differential have helped improve farmer incomes and meeting local food needs and exporting to the region. We have sowed the seeds for industrial expansion through the One District, One Factory strategic industries initiatives. We have undertaken the largest investment in infrastructure for any first-term government and also made investments to balance the infrastructure gaps between the cities and the towns. We have invested in the Zongo Development Fund and provided infrastructure to the Zongo communities. We have implemented a major digitization program to formalize the economy. We have invested in programs and initiatives to protect the vulnerable and the disadvantaged and to provide social safety nets through 3SHS, TVET, expansion of the school feeding program, the NHIS, restoration of teacher training allowances and nursing training allowances, and so on. We have created jobs in 4 years. We have created over 2 million jobs in the formal sector. We are fighting corruption. We are creating a more secure environment. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has provided strong, decisive leadership in managing the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects. He has committed significant financial resources in helping households, health workers, businesses, and to cope with disruptions to their lives and livelihoods and supply chains and business continuity. We have shown, ladies and gentlemen, that with good governance, we can help make life better for every Ghanaian, young and old, no matter where you live in this country. We want to do more over the next 4 years towards our overall vision of a Ghana beyond aid. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen, it is obvious to everyone by now that there is a major difference between an Akufo-Addo presidency and a John Mahama presidency. What the NDC destroyed in 8 years, Nana Akufo-Addo and the MPP have restored in less than 4 years and added more. We have only one choice ahead of us for the next 4 years, and that choice is to protect and build upon our progress as a nation. We cannot afford to go back into the days of darkness and a broken economy. By the grace of God, in the next Akufo-Addo government, within the context of the overall vision of a Ghana beyond aid, we will focus on delivering the following key outcomes. We will continue to stimulate growth through investments in the real sector of the economy. We will support industrialization. We will consolidate the implementation of the 3SHS and TVET programs. And we will focus on the promotion of health prevention as part of our primary care healthcare program. We will deliver on the largest healthcare infrastructure by any government since independence under the Agenda 111 and construct one district, one hospital. We will provide the most ambitious housing programs in the country. We will provide at least one model school for Zongo communities in each region. And we are obviously not going to build mortuaries for Zongos, but rather schools. We will establish a national rental assistance scheme in partnership with the private sector. The scheme will provide low-interest loans to eligible Ghanaians to enable them pay rent advance. In the next 4 years, we plan to build a digital services economy through the expansion of the Ghana Innovation Hub project to nurture startups, to accelerate the development of the applications software, provide e-backroom services, and enterprise-level software. We will also digitize the land registry next year to enable automation in the registration of land as well as the checking of title. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, our party, the New Patriotic Party, and our presidential candidate, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, sought your mandate on a platform of creating a prosperous society with economic opportunity for all Ghanaians. We were clear in what we wanted to use the mandate for: to rebuild the Ghana we want, strong, prosperous, and united with expanded opportunities for all. No matter where you live in the country, the evidence shows that we have kept faith with the people of Ghana and delivered or are delivering on our promises. The job is by no means done. However, we still have more to do in our service of the good people of Ghana. We know the continuing faith it will require on your part and the responsibilities it places on us, but we do not ask for the renewal of our mandate in a vacuum. We ask on the basis of two convictions. We ask you to give us 4 more years because our government, born out of the MPP under the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has kept faith with you, Ghanaians, by delivering on the commitments we made to you. We are on track, having significantly delivered on our mandate. Many have asked, how could an economy that could not pay teacher training allowance or nursing training allowances in 2016 suddenly deliver lower taxes, restore teacher training allowance, restore nursing training allowance, create jobs, implement free SHS, NAPCO, planting for food and jobs, one village, one dam, one constituency, one ambulance, reduce electricity tariffs, one district, one factory, and reduce the cost of doing business, and at the same time restore macroeconomic stability? The question had been asked because it seemed an impossible task by the end of 2016. But we were confident that with good economic management and by the grace of God, we could make what seemed impossible possible. And we did just that. By renewing our mandate and giving us 4 more years, you will be ensuring that all the hard work over the last 4 years does not go to waste. This is real. This is a real significant risk. We have been here before. In 2009, after we handed a strong economy over to the NDC, they virtually collapsed the economy after 8 years. The fiscal meltdown was so bad that the NDC ended up having to go for a rescue mission from the IMF. They did little to change. So let's be clear. John Mahama has not changed. He's still the same John Mahama. He has not changed. He's still the same John Mahama. He has not changed. So why would we take the risk of handing back the governance of this country to him? We should not take that risk. Fellow Ghanaians, That is a patented term now, but I'll pay royalties for using it. Fellow Ghanaians, we cannot afford to play Chaskele with the future of this country. We cannot. We cannot afford to. On December 7th, remember what we have achieved together and what we can achieve together over the next 4 years, and vote to retain Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president. And for MPs, we want Nana Akufo-Addo and all our MPs. They are all number one on the ballot. You just don't go anywhere. So we vote for them so that we can deliver once again on our mandate. I thank you so much for your attention. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.